Good morning. Welcome to Saturday's Early Morning Intuitive Guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, here with some words of wisdom for our day. And we actually have Tosha Silver, Outrageous Openness today. So I was going through my morning routine to figure out which card deck we were going to be using today. And it indicated that it was Tosha. Good morning, Carolyn. You're the first one here today. Good morning, good morning. Welcome, welcome. So we'll give it a minute for everybody to pop on. There's Peggy. Good morning. Welcome. Glad you're here. And Abigail. Good morning. Good morning. Everybody's starting to roll in, our fabulous group of practical rebels. And so I think you're really going to like this one. I think this is a really heartwarming one, which works for me. Hopefully it works for you. So for those of you who have the book, Outrageous Openness, feel free to grab your copy. Good morning, Cindy. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're here. Yes, welcome to the Practical Rebels. Glad you're here. Outrageous Openness, letting the divine take the lead. Tosha Silver. Good morning, Ruth Ann. Glad you're here. Haven't seen you in a bit. So, hope your trip to Wisconsin was good. Good morning, Beth. Hello, hello. Glad you're here. Everybody rolling in. Awesome. And I think my little counter thing is off. It says 5, but I think there's more of you here. So let's start with some breath, because I really want us to be opened up and ready for this particular reading, because I think it's so good. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Little tapping. In through the nose, out through the mouth. One more. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And just imagine opening, receptive, ready to hear these words, ready to soak up whatever about this is meant for you today. Meant for you to not just hear, but to really listen to and take in, soak up. So for those of you who have the book and want to follow along, it's page 93, and the chapter is called The Ease of Flow. The Ease of Flow. Like that. Like that. The quote is by Hafiz. Just sit there. Don't do a thing. Just rest. For this separation from God, from love, is the hardest work in this world. Acknowledging that the more we separate, instead of coming together, being one, the harder things are. The harder things are. So, she begins with a story. My friend Karen in North Carolina emailed me and said, somehow a change has occurred this holiday season. Good morning, Jonelle. Welcome, welcome. I'm moving from a place of ease and effortlessness, allowing things to happen as they wish to happen. Hear that again. Allowing things to happen as they wish to happen. Rather than trying to control things and be behind the scenes and kind of doing the Wizard of Oz thing. Allowing things to happen the way they wish to happen. What a great thought during the time of year when people often become the most fearful and crazed. I don't know about you, but the amount of holiday stuff that's already out in stores is mind-boggling. And I'm not talking Halloween. I'm not even talking Thanksgiving. I'm talking Christmas. Whatever. Whatever. So, Tosha immediately wrote the line down. I'm moving from a place of ease and effortlessness, allowing things to happen as they wish to happen. The receptive, intuitive mind will absorb that thought, even if the critical mind might dispute it. This idea harmonizes so well with divine order. If you align in any moment with the flow of life, as it presents itself, all will unfold in the right way at the right time with a certain spontaneity and ease. How does that sit with you? How does that feel? Yep, Christmas stuff at the dollar store in September. Absolutely true. Yes, yes, yes. And we get to choose whether or not we want to participate in that. I said to my sister yesterday, probably would be a good idea if we figured out what we're doing for Thanksgiving. And she says, let's just skip it. Right there you can tell the whole concept has gotten polluted. The whole concept has gotten polluted. So, hear this again. If you align in any moment with the flow of life as it presents itself, all will unfold in the right way at the right time with a certain spontaneity and ease. Good morning, Robin. Glad you're here. My thing is, I've got a talk coming up, an event thing, and I've been getting a little too wound around my axle about it. Like, I've got to make sure that they understand where we're coming from on this project, blah, blah. Allowing the unfolding. Allowing the unfolding. So here's another story she's sharing. Recently, I was in line at a grocery in Pacific Heights buying a few things. An older, well-dressed lady was standing behind me with a pinched, stressed demeanor, her arms brimming with baguettes and brie. Good morning, Janine. Welcome. I felt an impulse to let her go ahead. When her whole face suddenly broke into a radiant smile, I glimpsed for a second what she might have looked like as a carefree child. As her food tumbled onto the conveyor, she confessed how frantic she felt every year from Thanksgiving on, and how she wished she knew how to be different. I feel like I hold my life together with safety pins until January, she confessed. Good morning, Mel. Glad you're here. Welcome. I told her that I had made the decision long ago to feel relaxed during the holidays no matter what. Good God, she exclaimed, as if I had revealed that I secretly had 3 heads. How on earth would you do that? Well, I said, I make a thought or two my anchor. Here's my latest one. And she told her Karen's line. Ease and effortlessness, she mused. Oh, I love that. Then she whisked her, this is going to date the book, she whisked her BlackBerry out of her purse to start typing. So I thought, BlackBerry, wow, haven't heard that in a long time. I need to go back and see, when was this book actually published? This is a 10-year-old book, as relevant today, maybe even more so, as it was in 2014. There, she said, I just emailed it to myself. Then she grabbed me and gave me a hug. As she walked out of the door with her groceries, her face had opened like a rose giving its petals to the sun. Sometimes it just doesn't take much. The most infinitesimal, unexpected change can shift everything. So what have been some of those things that when someone said it to you, or you read it, or you learned something, you went, oh. And I can tell you one of mine because I shared it with somebody yesterday. It's from years ago. But somebody, when I was being my frantic, psychotic self, said to me, you know, Bonnie, you don't have to get it all done in this lifetime. Oh, that was like the sky opened. Oh, the angels sang. It was like, okay, I don't have to be insane trying to get everything done all the time. I can be at rest. So the other day when I didn't feel like working, went and sat in the park. It was beautiful. Looked at all the birds. There was an egret. What else did we have? Ducks, geese, cormorants. There were a lot of birds. A lot of birds. Didn't see any pelicans that day. There's usually a lot of pelicans. Yeah. So, what about for you? What were the things that when you learned of them, when you heard them, when someone shared it with you, you went, oh, and it allowed you to move more into that place of flow, allowing for flow. Did some flow yesterday. A friend of mine and I were getting together to go over a bunch of grant stuff and try to pick out what are some grants we're going to go after. And she said, how about if we do free lunch ahead? And I said, free lunch? What do you mean free lunch? One of the local car dealerships was doing kind of a drive-a-thon thing that for every mile that was driven in one of their new cars, money was contributed to University of Wisconsin for breast cancer research. So I thought, what the heck? Why not? Why not? So we went, and it was quite the machine. They had it was 6 or 7 cars wide and 4 deep, and they just kept churning them out. And you made this great big, I would guess it was like a 10-mile loop. And by the end of the day, then I'm sure they went and checked the odometers to see how many miles were put on, whatever. And it was one of those flow kind of things. As I'm driving, I'm thinking about all the women I know who've had breast cancer. Many of whom have survived and some of whom have not. And just the thought of contributing to the research that gets done in that regard. And remembering hearing Maria Shriver talk about the underfunding, the chronic underfunding of research that benefits women. And her joy when Jill and Joe Biden decided to put through the initiative to have women's health care matter and have women's health care research funded equal to how men's is funded. Come on, what the hell, people? So that was one of those flow kind of things. You bang your head against the wall on something, and then somehow a door opens. So what do you feel like you're banging your head against right now? Step back for a minute. Take a breath. Let's go back to Hafiz here. Just sit there. Don't do a thing. Just rest. And again, just like what Cindy's got posted here, all the do. And the problem with the do is it's doo-doo. When we overdo, again, I go back to the sharpen the saw idea. We get less and less productive when all we do is do. When we allow this being, just sit there. Don't do a thing. Just rest. So lately I've taken also to sitting here and staring out my window. During the weekday, good morning, Sue, glad you're here. During the weekday, about 7:10, it begins. All the middle schoolers headed for school. And it's so interesting to look at all of these children. When I went to this same school, it was lily white. There were a couple of native kids because, hello, this is reservation area. We pushed them off their land, right? Now I look, oh my God, what a melting pot. There are Hispanic kids. There are, you name it, kids, mixed race kids. There's all manner of kids. It's this beautiful soup of kids, an amalgam. It's just so cool. You know, there was a young woman who walked through yesterday with a headscarf, and I'm like, how cool is that? You know, just this, and listening to their conversations and watching the goofiness that they do, watching all the parents dropping kids off, just, yeah. Flow, being in the flow, allowing, watching, paying attention. How well are you doing at that? Today is Saturday. Most of us, those of us who still work, most of us don't have to work today. We can make choices. So rather than be insane with, now I've got to catch up on all the stuff that I didn't get done during the week, take a few moments. Pause. Breathe. Hopefully by you it's going to be a nice day today. Here it's supposed to be a nice day today. I might go dig up some flowers. I said to my little brother yesterday, because he and I and his wife went out to dinner last night. I have to dig up a bunch of the hostas and irises at Dad's. Do you need any? And he thought for a minute. He goes, yeah, I could use some. So, time to dig stuff up. And I love doing that. That is so satisfying because you can see something actually happening, right? So, what will you do today to allow yourself some time to just be? What will you do today? Will you set aside a chunk of time? Will you make a cup of tea, and the amount of time it takes you to drink your cup of tea, you gift yourself with just being? Will you go sit on your front porch for a while? Will you go for a walk? What will you do to give yourself a little bit of just be space? I want to hear. Put it in the feed. There's 10 of you on here. How'd I get 10 responses? Let's see what you're going to do. So, the ease of flow. The ease of flow. I'm going to grab that one sentence again. If you align in any moment with the flow of life as it presents itself, all will unfold in the right way at the right time with a certain spontaneity and ease. On that note, have an awesome Saturday. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are, including just being. Bye-bye.